from Coffee and Crafts. We have coffee. And we have crafts. Carrie, that is neither cross stitch or diamond painting. Have you lost your mind? No, this is my new obsession. So we've done cross stitch, we've done diamond painting. I love both of those, but I've recently fallen hard, you guys. I have recently fallen hard for adult coloring. So this is a what did I color in April, and kind of an introduction to what's coming to the channel. So I tried to think about what questions you might have. What questions did I have when I started getting interested in them? The first one is, really, Carrie? Coloring? Like, isn't that like kindergarten? It could be. If you color like a kindergartner, that's okay. It is very therapeutic, and a lot of people, they call it flat coloring, where you're just coloring the same shade all throughout. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's not adult coloring. Well, Carrie, do you have to be an adult to color? And what is an adult? Nope, you don't have to be an adult. So why do they call it adult coloring? Well, I'll tell you why. Because books like this are extremely detailed and maybe a little more challenging than, say, what maybe a grade schooler would do, or even high school would do. So I'll show you some examples. So this is extremely detailed. This isn't really a scene. But this is kind of her style, is a very detailed flowers. There are some scenes, like this is a scene, got some Alex hair there. This is a scene here with a tree and some flowers coming out. But it's a certain style, but super fun, and it can keep you entertained for hours and hours and hours. Okay, so what's another question? How much does it cost? I mean, you know, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I want to spend a lot of money on it. Well, these two books were $10 each. That's pretty cheap. And a lot of professional colorists, that's what they call us, as colorists when you're coloring in a coloring book, a lot of them use Crayolas. They use Crayola colored pencils. And and they can make some really beautiful pages with Crayolas. Am I using Crayolas? No, you know I'm a snob. I'm a snob crafter, you guys. But I'm not using the best. I'm kind of using a middle ground. I am using Black Widow pencils, and I'll put a link in the description. You can get a set for around $20. Not a full set, but a decent variety of colors for around $20. You can spend a lot more than that. A lot more than that. Like any hobby, you can go cheaper, you can go expensive. I try to be in the middle ground. So it's not expensive in my opinion, and it will last me for hours. And this is just 2 coloring books. You may decide you want Johanna Basford's ocean coloring book, and that would be super fun too. Well, Carrie, what about if I don't like colored pencils? Can I use something else? Yes, you can. I've seen a lot of people use different things. So I've seen them use crayons. I've seen people use colored pencils. I've seen them use Posca pens and gel pens, markers. There's different kinds of markers. Watercolor. You can use watercolor. There are some challenges, and it needs to be a good quality book, but you can do watercolor in these coloring books. And what if you want to do all of the above. So that's where I fall in my category. I am planning to grow to become a mixed media artist. I want to be able to use multiple tools on one page to make it look really cool. All right, so let's get started. I've been talking way too much. All right, so this is a what did I color in April? So I'm gonna start with the ones that I've finished. And I'm kind of cheating on this first one because it's not a whole page that I finished, but a piece. So here is the flower. Are we in frame? Yep, we're in frame. So here, not this one, but this one, we finished this flower. And I'm pretty happy with it. So I used shading. I considered the lighting. The lighting is in my eye is coming straight towards the flower, and so I have the lighting kind of in the middle of these petals, and it makes it, by considering lighting and shading, you have to consider both, you are able to make a 2D picture look 3D, and I just think that is super cool. I really am enjoying this. So these types of books are a little more challenging because there's so much detail and it's not always a scene, but you can do gradients to make it feel more realistic. And that's what I've done here. I've got a darker color around the frame and then I'm fading out to lighter. By the time I figured that out though, I had already started this piece. So I think I could have done a lot better. I think this middle part came out great. But I think the leaves out here I could have done a little better. But still, I'm pretty happy with it. I did not keep track of what colors I used. Next month, I'll do that. But I used colored pencil for the majority of it. But this background right in here, this light blue, I used pastels. All right, so you probably have the same question I have that I scream into my iPad at all YouTubers that are colorists. What did you use to seal the pastels? Because if you know anything about pastels, you know that it's a powder, so it comes off, so you have to seal it, right? Well, that's what I thought until I discovered that you don't. Now, if it's a really thick layer, you probably should use something. Or some people will put a piece of paper over it. It does change the color slightly when you spray it, a sealant. However, if it's a light like this, just a light layer of it, you can use a Q-tip and beat it into submission. You can beat it into the paper, and after that, it does not come off. So I'm going to run my finger across this pastel, and nothing has come off. There's nothing on my finger. So I have beat it into the page. Obviously, there's a limit to that. If it needed to be really dark layers, then probably I would have to seal it. All right, so that's my finished page, my first finished piece. All right, so I have a second finished piece that I am pretty proud of it, and I'm pretty excited. This is my favorite book right now, you guys. I love animals, and I love this book. I'm telling you. So that would be my advice, is if you're not sure what to pick out for a book, pick something out that you love. Do you love boats? Then find a coloring book with boats. Do you love dinosaurs? Then find a book that has dinosaurs. Do you love frogs? Then find a book that has frogs. Flowers are, if you're just like, I don't know what I love, flowers are a good place to start to learn some techniques. Okay, so let's take a look at my finished piece. Speaking of frogs, I did this little guy, and I think he came out pretty good. This is my first page in this book, and yeah, I think he's fairly realistic, and he came out pretty good. So I used my Black Widow pencils for the majority of it. I did make a mistake on his chin right here. I used the wrong color. I was still learning some color theory, and I just made a poor choice, and I almost threw this book away and bought a new one, but I realized that I could use green and make it, like change the color to, it was kind of a bright purple, and I used green, and if you put two complementary colors together, that's a color across the coloring wheel, two colors across the coloring wheel, it'll turn to brown. And so that's what I did here, and I think I salvaged the page. I think it looks okay. And I put some texturing in there. So yeah, I think it came out pretty good. So again, I decided my light source was in the middle, straight on, and so the light areas are in the middle here, and then I did dark shading on the sides. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then the background, this little background he's standing in front of, I used pastel pencils. Faber-Castell. I already owned them, so I thought I would use those before I invest in anything else. And I chose not to color this background back here behind the flowers. So if you feel that it's taking away from the picture, you do not have to fill in all the white space. But that is your choice as the colorist. It's your view, your take, your artistic license as to how you want to do your page. And that's why, even though there are a million YouTubers out there that are colorists, I decided, well, you haven't seen mine. You haven't seen mine, so maybe you would enjoy a series where I do some coloring. All right, so this is the frog, yeah, and that's pretty much it. I didn't have any real issues with him other than this, other than his chin, and I'm pleased with the color scheme. I like more purples and more cooler colors. Yeah, so that's my frog. All right, so what about whips? I do have one whip in this book. It's not much, but here it is. So I have started this page. It's the introductory page, and my idea is for the background for it to feel like grass, and maybe a scene. So I'm starting with green. This is the color opal, I believe. I'm starting with green, and I'm gonna fade to blue for this background area. And then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the colors. I'm gonna try to find some contrasting colors for the flowers. I've got a bee over here and a couple of butterflies, some leaves, and a background with some lettering. So it's gonna be super fun to finish it. So hopefully next month I'll be able to show that to you. All right, now let's look at Basford and my whips in that book. So here is my first whip in this book. So I'm not crazy about the orange and blue. I was trying to blend those two together. It was a little challenging, and this, I was just getting started learning how to do shading and pick colors. But I am really pleased with the leaves. I think the leaves came out really well. They look very 3D. And then on this other page, I did another flower. So whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, I will grab this book and try to find something small. Or maybe you're super tired at night and you feel like, should I really be coloring? I'm just gonna mess it up. Well, maybe pick something small. So my goal this month is to color every day in May. Will you color with me? Would you like to color with me? I find that it is a little easier on my shoulder. If you don't know, I injured my shoulder and I have not been able to work on my other channel I have a gaming channel, Console Carry, and I haven't been able to play on that channel because it's hurting my shoulder, but I'm finding that this is a lot easier on my shoulder. So if you have a disability or an injury, or even shaky hands, I mean, it doesn't have to be beautiful, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can practice, but I find that it helps me relax. I actually do have some anxiety in real life, and I find that this is very therapeutic and helps me relax at night, and I'm actually sleeping better. So I highly recommend it. All right, so this is a tuber. They call it a tuber flower. Bees love this kind of flower. We had a whole bunch of them in our backyard, and we ripped them out because we had a million bees in our backyard. But I tried to do some shading at the tips of these skinny little leaves and at the base there, and I did some shading. I feel like it needed to be a little darker in the shading, but I don't know. I was just having a hard time with it. I took it as far as I could. So I think that with practice, I will just keep getting better and better. All right, and I have one more whip that I did. This is the first one I did, and that's this little orchid, and I think it's really pretty. Looking at it now, after coloring for a few weeks, I think I could have shaded the leaves more, made the leaves look more realistic, but I think overall I did pretty good for just a beginner, and it's really pretty. All right, so that is going to do it for my show and tell today. And I would love to hear and see what you're coloring. So Carrie, how could we show you what we're coloring? I have a Discord. From my other channel, I have a section called Coffee and Crafts, Share Your Art. And I will put a link in the description if you would like to join my Discord and share your art, see the progress that I'm making, what things I'm working on through the month. And that's it. So that's it. So I will be doing some other coloring videos, maybe some color alongs. I'm not sure what this series is going to look like. I am going to do a once a month, what did I color that month? Other than that, I'm not sure exactly what you guys will enjoy seeing. I'll probably do some color alongs. Yeah, maybe some tips along the way. You know me, I'm not super chatty. I like to talk about techniques and what I'm working on, and no personal drama, just fun and relaxing time together. All right. Thanks for joining me for this new series. I hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned for the next one.